You know what they say about corn? You never really own it. No, you never heard that expression?
Oh man, yeah.
Record.
These cold opens are gonna get better every time. We're just gonna start recording and see how it goes. So, oh man, yeah. Before we actually hit the record button, Eric was saying some pretty not so nice. No, I'm joking.
Take 4.
Yeah, take 4. Oh man,
I'm getting a bad rep.
Yeah. All right, so we're live, boys. Another episode. Welcome back to the Sleepy Dads podcast.
Dude, what a great week this was, Anish.
What a great week, man. What a great week. So, as I mentioned in last week's episode, we're going to keep the formalities to a short moving forward. If you know, you know. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast. Every subscribe hit helps the Sleepy Dads out. So if you're watching this on YouTube, if you're listening on Spotify, if you're listening on Apple Podcast, just hit the subscribe button. It takes you 2 seconds. Doesn't hurt anybody. Go do it now. With that being said, let's go ahead and roll right into the fake ad read of the week.
Alrighty, today's sponsor is brought to you by the Mill Creek Brewery. The fan favorite pumpkin cream ale is back and it's not to be missed. Be sure to swing by the Mill Creek Brewery and grab a refreshing ale to bring in the fall. And maybe it'll help take away some of the pain of watching the Tennessee Titans attempt and fail spectacularly to play football. Be sure to use promo code this beer is refreshing 20 and save yourself 20% off your next visit to the Mill Creek Brewery.
Excellent ad read. Shout out to Mill Creek Brewery.
That's right.
Snaps from Mill Creek.
Yeah, they're definitely for the dads. Another shout out to Drew, one of the owners there. I'm in a fantasy football league with him, and in our chat, he's always defending the pod, boys. He's always in there. Anytime anybody asks something about the pod, yeah, he's always in there shouting them out. So shout out to him. Another quick shout out to my brother. He apparently is a tier 1. So he's listening.
Yes.
He's listening to every episode.
Let's go.
He's enjoying it. He got into a little, I don't want to say argument, but fun discussion with Drew from Mill Creek about the pod, and Drew was defending us, man. So shout out to him. So
love it.
He did say, my brother did say that you are the MVP of the pod, Eric. You bring
me?
Yeah, you bring the heat, man. Yeah.
Moi?
Is that what Drew was defending about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is your brother? Is he like? Yeah. He's funny because he's fucking wrong about everything.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah. My brother's like, most of the times I listen to Eric, and I'm like, what an idiot. But then sometimes I'm like, he's not wrong. He has a point.
That's great.
Yeah.
Tell your brother we love him.
Yeah. So, shout out to my brother. So, before we get into everything, quick programming note for next week. We will be taking a week off. As of now, who knows? Maybe things will change. But as of right now, there will be no episode next week. Travel schedules are getting crazy. We got vacation. We got work travel. Break. Yeah, a lot of things going on. So,
going to the beach, Anish. Going to the beach.
Hot take. Not a fan of the beach.
Oh,
personally.
Anish.
Eric's turned around.
I flipped. I love the beach now.
Eric used to hate the beach.
I used to hate it. It was the worst. And now I love it. It's the best week of the year, man.
So I love the beach if I'm at a resort and the beach is just right there next to the resort and we can go down, enjoy some time on the beach, and then come back to our room and do whatever. But I'm not a fan of the beach when you have to get everything together.
Anish, you got to learn to relax, brother. You got to learn.
Maybe that's it.
Maybe
I need to zen out.
It's the whole thing, dude. You get a nice
Eric
place.
is
pool.
Salt Life.
Yeah, Salt. I would get Salt Life tattooed on my arm.
Yeah.
Eric is Salt Life.
That's a big term for Eric.
So one thing, this is the best thing about all of us being friends is I remember in college, I was complaining about how much I didn't like the beach because I had as a kid, all my birthdays in the summer, we'd end up at the beach. I probably had 10 birthdays at the beach, which is
poor guy.
The irony. I know, Brandon, that's exactly where I'm going is in college, Brandon was like, oh, you poor baby. You got to go to the beach every year. And on your birthday, you were at the beach. Oh man, how tough is your life? I'm like, okay, that sounds okay. When you say it like that,
I hope I hope Ward and Paul are listening right now to what you did to this poor boy.
Ward is a tier 1, so he's listening.
He is. He knows. He's probably going, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Kids are, God, they don't appreciate anything.
Yeah. He's like, first you cuss too much on the pod.
Yep.
And now
I'm working on that. I'm working on that one, Dad.
Yeah. Oh man. Hey, good for you. You flipped on the beach. I'm happy for
I did.
because you hated it
did.
for the longest time. So
Yeah, I didn't like it, and then now
People
it's
can
like,
change.
Anish, you got to learn. This sounds dumb, but I legit I had to learn how to relax, how to like literally be like chill out. Like you're not working. You're not in your normal grind. Everyone's in a good mood. The food is great. You can do whatever the hell you want. You're drinking beers by the pool. Like this is good.
There's no rules.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yep.
I've gotten that way with like, so I'm not like a heat guy. I hate the heat. I hate hot weather.
Mm-hmm.
I hate all that. Like it just makes me miserable. I think most people are like that. But like now with, so many trips to like, Disney and coming out of Nashville a lot to visit you guys, I just learned to accept the heat now. I just let my body do what it needs to do and just accept it. So
just sweat,
you do that
baby.
with the beach. Yeah, just sweat it
Come
out.
on and sweat, baby, sweat.
So maybe I just need to sweat it out. So all right, let's go ahead and get into it. We're gonna kick off with Dad's stories of the week. I'll let Brandon. I'll let you go first. I know you said you're gonna combine some stories here, so I'll let you get yours out of the way first.
Never get the first pick in the draft, but I get the first Dad story, so I'll take what I can get.
He throws it to you or commercial every single time.
Oh, well, I
I
didn't
don't hear
cover
any complaining. Only when I get first pick of the draft. It's the only time I hear complaining.
Criticize.
Yeah. Joke's on you. Eric has the first pick of the draft this week.
I didn't know what the draft is for.
Yeah, good.
Oh, I'm gonna hit one. This is about a week old, I guess, but we went down to Haley's been running cross country this year in high school. I talked about that a couple times on here, but they did a meet, and it wasn't just a normal like during the week high school with like the local high schools. We went to like an invitational down in Huntsville to this sports complex, and this complex was like insane. I've never been to anything like this. Like they literally had they had like all the normal like baseball fields, like sand volleyball courts, soccer fields and everything, but they literally had a course for a cross country like events. And the day before, like colleges had raced and completely tore up the course. It was so muddy and nasty. But the place was, there was like a indoor hockey arena like there. I mean, it was this huge. I'm like, man, something like this. There might be something in Nashville that I don't know about, but something like this in Tennessee would be super cool to go to. But so the venue was awesome, but there was like teams from like 5 different states there. I think there was like, I don't even know how many. I mean, it was tons of schools there. It was definitely one of the biggest like things I've ever like seen or been a part of, like as far as like event wise. So overall, awesome experience. Other than having to get up at the crack of dawn to drive down there, because those things start like 7-8 a.m. and Huntsville's a couple hours from Chattanooga, but
it's the worst part of it.
I know we did drafts about like long car rides and stuff, and but luckily kids are good now in the car.
Dude, as they get older,
it was like an easy drive. For it to be, I mean, it was an exhausting day trip, but for it to be like just a couple hours down the road, we stopped at, me, big brain thinking we're going to this event that's just going to have like porta potties. Like, I'm fine with that. The kids, Courtney, not going to love a porta potty,
No, Brendan loves a porta potty.
I love a porta john. We'll do draft of best
taking a
porta
nice
johns.
pre-race shit in a porta potty.
I judge a race by its porta johns, but somewhat of a connoisseur.
Dude, you guys, we're laughing, but I don't think you know how many porta potties Brandon's probably used the restroom at for all of his events and races.
Yeah. So anyway, I didn't think, I was trying to be considerate. So we stopped. I just literally like 15 minutes from the venue, we found like this like racetrack, and it was like the racetrack was like the gas station racetrack, and it was literally like the Buckee's of racetracks. I've never been to one like this nice and large. Like we walked in and there was like clothes, and there was a yogurt bar, like a frozen yogurt like wall. There was like a huge coffee area. I was like, what are we at? Like, is this a Buckee's?
Brendan, was it the Talladega of racetracks?
It was, yes. So we stopped in there. We loved it so much that we stopped on the way out too and got coffees on the way out.
Dude, that's how you know. That's how you know that's a good place.
It literally was. It was like, we're going to hit this place on the way back and grab
that's
some
awesome.
like coffees and snacks and stuff. But It was. I mean, it was a fun time. It was like I said, the race was good race. Like the weather, we really dodged the bullet. Like with the weather, because it literally the night before it was like 90% chance of rain all day in Huntsville, and we were like, sweet. And it
That
poured
sucks.
down for a little bit on the drive down, but we got there. Rain cleared. It was like 70 degrees, just like overcast, so like perfect like race weather. And we threaded that needle until right when we were about to leave. It kind of started to rain, and we would have been out before the rain even came, but again, huge event. There's like a vendor village, and you know your boy's going to be over in the vendor village area looking around. And we went before the race, and I was like, "Hey, we need to go get stuff now." And you know, they're messing around, and we end up not getting everything. And sure enough, after the race, they want to go look at stuff, and the lines are like crazy long. So we kind of divide and conquer. There's a, you know, we love coffee. There's an iced coffee like a food truck, whatever. So Courtney goes and gets in that line, and then me and the girls go get in the t-shirt line, and they're making. There's no telling how much money this people made, because literally like all the kids are there to get like the t-shirt, and they literally just have.
It's the coolest thing in the world,
and they had like no overhead on it, because it was literally they had blank shirts, and you would tell them what design you wanted, and they were heat pressing them right there.
Oh wow!
So it was kind of taking a little bit too, especially somebody went up there.
What is it? Are you at the beach? Are you at Panama City Beach?
Dude, yeah, right.
T-shirts press.
Jersey Shore.
Yeah, Jersey Shore.
I mean, they were cranking them out, but yeah,
Sure
there's no
to
telling
hear.
how much money they made off that. But we get up there, we wait in line forever for this, and we finally get up there, and there's one lady in front of us, and she orders like 10 shirts, and she's like, I want that one, and what colors do you have in this? I'm like, lady, how do you not know what you want? Like, look at the line, like read the room, like you
also,
don't need
you're
this.
like 3 shirts is kind of the max here.
Yeah, right. And even Savannah, who has no, halfway paying attention to what we're even there for, is like, how many shirts? Literally, like, we're right behind this person in line. She goes, how many shirts does this lady
You're like,
need?
hand over her mouth.
No, at this point, I was like, I don't know, Savannah. Like, she's got too many. Like,
Was A-hole Brandon coming out?
Yeah, I was so tired I was like, is this lady serious?
I love A-hole Brandon.
But then, so she gets out of the way, and then we get up there, and Haley's picked out whatever she wants, and I'm literally about to pay, and like I said, it's starting to sprinkle, like rain's coming in, and as she's about to take my cart, and like this gust of wind comes and like almost knocks the tent over, like the canopy that's there, and so she has to like run to like handle the canopy and like get all, and I'm like standing there with my card in my hand, like, please just let me pay, like I want to get out of here. Yeah. So it didn't blow away. We got our shirts, we got our swag, and we hit the road, went back to the racetrack, got some more coffee, or I think we just got treats or something. But it was a fun trip. I mean, I know I complained there for a little bit, but overall fun experience. Got to see something cool and new,
Brendan, those kind of trips are the ones that it's a pain in the ass. You're up early, it's long, the food situation's always dicey. Yeah. You're dealing with lady in line, but those are also like the funnest memories too.
Oh yeah, we had a blast. I mean, I was exhausted that night.
Yeah, you're just
exhausted that night, but it was a fun day. So
nice.
Good little day trip.
I remember one time, Brandon, when I was a kid, my cousin Bryce, we were in Kentucky for something, and he had a hockey tournament in Knoxville. So for whatever reason, my dad was like, I'll drive him. He's like, Eric, you want to go? And I was like, yeah, I'll go. So it was me, my dad, and my cousin. And it's like a 3-hour drive. So we had to leave at like 4 a.m. It was in the winter. I remember getting in the car, hitting my head on the roof of the car as I was getting in, like legit, like seeing stars, and then driving, down there, him playing a hockey game. We went to like, is it Roadhouse? It's not Logan's. Isn't there
Texas Roadhouse?
Yeah. Texas Road. So we went to a Texas Roadhouse afterwards, and then drove back. And like in the moment, it sucked, but also it was like the best. It's like those days are like the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, quick day trip. I feel like those are like the best. Like you said, it may suck in the moment when you're living it, but afterwards, like, man, that was actually kind of
fun. I have pretty good. Besides knocking myself out, I have pretty good clarity on that day.
Yeah.
Except for the 3 hours I blacked out there for a second.
You're like, Dad, I'll take a pink lemonade.
Yeah.
Eric, you okay?
Yeah, it's like sometimes you have bad road trips, sometimes you have good road trips, and it's like, hey, we had a good one. Good job, everybody. Let's keep these up.
No one got mad. No one's upset.
Yeah, no one complained in the car.
Traffic.
Like we just rode.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's the thing of beauty. A perfect road trip.
Oh, man, I love that. It's beautiful.
Snaps for a good road trip.
Snaps for a good road trip. Yeah. All right, Eric, what do you got for dad stories this week?
Dad stories. We went to Disney on Ice, which we got to go for free. We had friends who have a contact, so we had paid nothing for it. And the girls are 7 and 5, and it's just they were loving it, having a fantastic time watching whatever the whole Disney show on ice. It was funny. There were a few of the skaters that fell on their like big jump things. And after I was telling Katie, I was like, I wonder if they all went out last night and had a pretty good time in Nashville, and they're feeling the effects because there were probably like 8 different people throughout the show that did a tumble or a semi tumble off their big jumps and stuff. So, but the girls loved it. It was great. They got ices. They got what they get? They each got a toy. And they
Expensive
were,
toys.
we were, and it's Disney on Ice, so they barely sell the lower bowl, so you're down low anyways, and so they were able to wave and see like the characters and stuff. It was a good day.
Yeah, Disney on Ice is always fun. What was the like the show, the theme of the show? Because I know they do different ones.
It's about love. No, it was and I was actually a little worried because it was the main group was like a DJ Mickey and Minnie and Goofy and stuff. But they started out with like the Wish movie, which my girls didn't really like Wish, the movie Wish, and so like but you could tell most kids were kind of like, okay. But so I was like a little worried. But then it went to the bangers of Lion King. The Little Mermaid. They ended with Moana, which dude, Moana slaps in an arena,
dude. So we went to one earlier this year, Disney on Ice. Similar, it was kind of like they started with Wish as well, which
probably the same show then. Probably the same show.
Yeah.
Then Frozen 2.
They did Frozen. They had Cars.
No Cars.
Oh, okay. So maybe it's a little bit different, but yeah, same thing with Wish. Like Zoya watched it. She liked it when she watched it, but then every time we ask her if she wants to watch it again, she's like, "Nah, I'm good." I'm like, okay. Maybe
it's like most kids, because it's kind of boring.
Yeah, it is. So, but yeah, the bangers like Moana, Frozen 2, Encanto. I will say when Cars came out, when Lightning McQueen came out, dude, that place went nuts.
So this is a little tidbit here, Anish. Did you know Cars is one of the most profitable brands for Disney Pixar?
Really?
Because kids love the cars, the vehicles, the toy sales.
Kids love cars.
They love cars, dude.
I mean, they have a whole like Cars Land and Disneyland for it, so I can imagine that. Yeah. Nice. So yeah, Disney on Ice always hits. I enjoy Disney on Ice.
They're in the right age too, where they could sit there for an hour and a half, and they weren't a problem. They loved the show. We went with a friend and their kids, and they all had a great time. It was fun.
Nice. Yeah.
Nice little Sunday. And then I came home to the shitty football.
No, we're not. We're not talking about it. Eric.
Okay.
We're not talking about it.
Okay.
Yeah. Last episode was a somber episode. We got all our Titans talk out then. Luckily,
it could be better.
Yeah. Luckily, this episode comes out Monday morning, and we play tonight, Monday night. So we don't know how it's going to turn out. But and we're taking a week off next week, so we'll have 2 weeks to really ruminate on it. So nice. Any other stories for you from the week, or that was pretty much it with Disney on Ice?
That was our highlight. That was our big one.
Nice. Yeah. So for me, my main thing, I guess mine is like I'm stepping on Brandon's corner here with Proud Dad moment of the week. So my brother-in-law, Priya's younger brother, recently got engaged. Shout out to him. So he wants to go see a venue up in Milwaukee. It's like an hour away from here. Cost wise, it's relatively, much cheaper to have it in Illinois or Milwaukee rather than Chicago. And then, it's just, they can have less people there, so they don't have to invite like a bunch of people. So it just works out. So they have a meeting set up on Friday, and he wanted, me and Priya to go with them. And I'm like, well, Zoya has school and we can't, we already took a whole week off to go to Disneyland. I don't really want to, if we pull her out, I don't mind. We can pull her out, but I don't know if, that'll be a big deal or not. So
get a letter.
Yeah. You gotta want to talk to the principal again. It's a whole thing.
Yeah. So we asked Zoya, because I was like, let's see what Zoya wants to do. Most likely she's probably going to say, obviously, let's, dip out and go to see this place and have fun for the day in Milwaukee. So I asked her, I was like, hey, on Friday we want to go see a potential wedding venue for your uncle's wedding, and but we'd have to miss school. And Fridays is like show and tell day at her school, and like that's how they get you on Fridays, man. The kids love show and tell day.
They're proud of their stuff.
They're proud of their stuff, yeah. So first of all, she was like, I don't know, it's show and tell day. I don't really want to miss show and tell day. And I'm like, all right, that's fair. But then she was like, she hit me with like one of those things where I'm like, oh, I didn't realize you had that much awareness. But she was like, and also we took a whole week off at Disneyland. I don't know if I want to take another day off. Like,
Dad, I'm getting behind.
Yeah.
Anish,
I'm like, hey,
Zoya might be a nerd. I'm not saying she is one. I'm saying she might become one.
She might be, man. She might be. Right?
Let's go for that perfect attendance record.
Hey, good for her, man. But yeah, I was proud in the sense like, hey, man, good awareness and good thing of that. That's one less thing I have to teach
Anish,
you. Like,
Anish, can I just say, I think we've married the right individuals because all of our kids are like doing well in school or at least have like their head on, which is not how I don't think either of us were in school.
In college, at least.
Yeah, I mean, my entire life.
Still.
Yeah. So that was a big thing for me this week. Is
good job, Zoya.
Yeah, just good job. Like, one less. It feels like some things that we taught her are actually sticking. So that's always nice when that happens. And the one less thing I have to worry about in the future of her like playing hooky during school. So
I mean,
at least for now,
practically picking her college she's going to. So I mean, you did good, Anish.
Yeah. Hey, thank you. Yeah. So, cool. Yeah. So that's stories of the week. Perfect. So I want to transition into, we have some time. I know we were debating on whether we wanted to talk about this topic now or leave it for another episode, but I feel like we have plenty of stories regarding this topic that will be fine, even if we tell some stories now, and then we can bring it back up in another episode later. But we kind of want to give the listeners kind of a little more in a deeper dive about us, and what better way to do that?
What makes you tick? Anish?
Yeah. What better way to do that than to relive some college stories? Nothing too crazy. We don't need to get into the nitty gritty things. We don't need to get too crazy, but I feel like we have plenty of stories that just kind of,
what's the legal term when it's been too long and you can't go?
Statute of limitations.
Yeah, statute of limitations. Thank you.
Yeah,
statute of limitations.
Exactly.
They're in effect. They can't take my diploma away.
Yeah. So one of the things that made me think of this topic is because the other weekend we were hanging out with Zoe was hanging out with some of her cousins, and we were hanging out with like previous cousins and whatnot, and we were all just kind of talking, and we're like, man, like, do you think these kids will like be as crazy as we were in college? Because in college, like, we would do like crazy shit, and like our parents never knew what we were doing or where we were at any given time, and it was like, I wonder if they're going to be that way. And we're like, they're probably going to be worse, So
worse, yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
they're probably going to be worse. Like there's going to be worse because like there's ways like we can actually like track our kids to see where they are with like GPS and things like that. So like I feel like it's gonna be worse because like we're gonna know where they are.
No,
they're just not gonna tell us.
I think I think you're gonna have to be prepared for when they go off. When all of our kids go off to school, they're gonna be like, "I'm turning my tracker off," and you're gonna be like,
"Nope,
I don't know how to process this." But also, you got to go learn. You just got to go. You got to go do you.
Yeah, it's like it's the perfect like mix of like this is the worst day of my life, but at the same time, like you said, Eric, you just got to do you. And I'm going to be moving next door. So it just is what it is, You're
like, please go to a local school, but I will go live near you.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think when we were talking about that, I'll kick it off to give you guys time to think of some stories if you don't already have any queued up. But the one story. No,
Anish, we were talking which angle are we wanting to go with these stories, but we'll let you dictate the tone by your first story.
Okay, so my
tread lightly.
Yeah. So my story is
tread lightly.
Yeah,
we have friends and families and jobs.
Also true. So yeah. So the story that I was specifically thinking about when we were talking about this was, so this had to be our freshman year, I believe, Eric. So it was you, me, and a buddy of ours, Adam from Dixon. Shout out Adam. Yeah, and
the boy,
and we were hanging out with with another friend of ours. I won't say his name, just for the purpose, just in case they listen to the pod. I don't know.
We're
if they
not
do or
trying to
not.
incriminate anybody.
Yeah, we're not trying to incriminate anybody, so I'm not going to say their name.
Besides Adam. Adam,
Besides-
you're incriminated.
Yeah,
You're in, buddy.
incriminated because
You've
you took
been
the brunt.
called out, Adam.
Yeah, you took the brunt of this story. So we went with this one undisclosed friend to one of his friends' apartment off of campus. He probably lived like 2 miles off of campus.
It was early. It was early into college.
Yeah,
the
but-
first
redacted.
couple weeks. Yeah. It's like a guy. Well, when I knew it, it's like all blurred out.
So far, this
he's,
is great.
he's acting like something. The guy went to go do nefarious things, and we were young and naive. We just like chilled out in the car, and then we went
Yeah.
into the apartment once they went somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the what is it?
The premise.
TLDR of the story, what I
Yeah.
just gave. So yeah. So we went to the apartment. So we went into the apartment. We're all hanging out. Like Eric said, this is probably like 2 to 3 months into college.
You don't really know. No, I think weeks because we didn't really know anybody
Yeah, true. We didn't know anybody. We just met this
where
guy.
we were.
Yeah, we had met this guy at, I think, orientation. So we were hanging out with him for a while. And then we went to this guy's house. We were hanging out. I don't know. We were like watching TV, playing video games. I'm not sure what we were doing. At some point, the night turned, and they pulled out like a BB gun and they were like shooting it randomly. Like there was like this like
Like
retention
a
pond in their backyard.
CO2 powered BB gun.
Yeah, and there was like a retention pond in their backyard, and they were initially shooting it at that, and somehow it turned into
4 shots later. Hey, what if
Yeah.
we shot somebody with this?
Yeah, and Adam for some reason volunteered.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, yeah, I'll
Like,
take a shot to the back with
When
a BB
Anish
gun.
says volunteer, he legit was giddy. Was like,
Yeah.
yeah, please shoot me.
I think in Adam's head, I can't speak for Adam, but I think in his head he was thinking like, okay, I'm a pretty far distance. He's far away. I don't think he's gonna hit me. Like that's what he had to be thinking, right?
Yeah.
He had to have been thinking that.
He's probably thinking like a pump, like a pump.
Exactly.
BB gun. You know, it's
Dude,
not,
I
not
remember-
really that bad.
I remember Adam taking some airsoft shots
In the dorm?
like in the dorms because we had the communal showers, and he was
Yeah.
walking to the showers in
Dude,
his
man,
towel. And I don't remember
Adam,
who
the
it
legend,
was.
the boy.
I don't know
the
who
boy.
it was, but somebody lit him up with an airsoft gun, and he was just pow pow pow.
Dude, he's like, dude, wasn't Adam in the Da Vinci Code? He was the guy that was whipping himself and chaining his legs.
That's how he prepared. That's how he prepared for this life.
Pain
yeah.
sadist.
Yeah. So the guy like lights him up with the BB gun. He probably hit him like 3-4 times with shots with the CO2 cartridge BB gun.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're all laughing because we're idiots and we don't know any better. And Adam's laughing and we're all having a grand old time. And then our friend and his buddy that was at the apartment, they decided they were going to go off somewhere. And they were like, hey, we'll be back in a couple of minutes. And we rode with this guy and we're like, all right, well, we're not going to go with you. So we'll just hang out here. I think it was like an hour and a half, 2 hours later.
It was a while.
We
They
were
weren't
still
coming
there.
back.
They weren't coming
back.
And
the
again,
guy was flaky. Okay.
yeah. And again, 3 weeks into college, we're off campus. We have no idea where we are. This is, mind you, this is the days before GPS on our phones.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just going by street names, basically. So we start walking. It's probably like close to midnight at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd have to say, right?
Yeah.
So we start walking. 5 minutes into our walk, it starts storming on us. So it's pouring rain on us. We're walking in the middle of nowhere. There's no street lights. We're just trying to go off of street signs.
Mm-hmm.
And then we finally find like a landmark. I think it was like was it Big O Donuts where we found?
Yeah, it was
or
yeah,
Ralph's?
Big O's.
Big O's, right? Yeah. So we finally find Big O's Donuts and we were like, oh, thank God. So we made it there and then we call somebody. We just knew that Big O's was like close to campus, but we still didn't know exactly how to get home. So we called somebody and somebody picked us up and then, you know, we shared the story and it was a big laugh and we ended up going like IHOP.
No,
after
yeah, they
that.
were like, we're on our way to Steak and Shake. And we're like, we could do
Or
Steak and
Steak
Shake.
and Shake, yeah.
And
was
the
like-
funny thing is, it was a table of like 20 guys and girls, and
Yeah.
no alcohol was consumed by anybody. But it was
Yeah.
like 1 a.m. and everyone's eating Steak and Shake.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, I can go for some cheese fries and a chocolate shake.
Yeah, you know what sounds awesome? A Frisco melt.
Yeah.
Man, shout out Big O's or
Big O's. Yeah.
Big O's donut, dude. That was a Cookville staple.
Good donuts.
For sure.
Fantastic donuts.
I think that just makes it. That's just like literally like you talk about how that story ended. That's just college. Like you're just
that's college.
You got nothing but time. Like you think you're stressed. You think you got stuff to do, and
Yes.
and you do. There's classes are important. You got to study. You have homework, but for the most part, you got nothing to do, and you can sure let's go do that. Like
I remember one. Now we're just going down memory lane. Buckle up, everybody. I remember one time it was snowing, and we were in the dorms, and Brandon was like, "Hey, I want to go to Burgess Falls. Do you want to go to Burgess Falls?" But we were like, "Let's go see the waterfall since it's snowing." And we were like, "Okay." So just me and Brandon in his two-door Honda Civic drove down to Burgess Falls, which is like 30, 45 minutes away from the campus. And we hiked down to the base of the waterfalls, and it was no one else was there. Yeah, it's snowing. It's freezing. It's a giant waterfall. And we just, that was literally like sure, I'm not doing it. I don't have any classes right now. Let's go.
God, Burgess was awesome.
Dude, Burgess, Cummings Falls. There's a lot of good trails and waterfalls in the area of Cookeville. Yeah, looking back at that story and realizing how close Big O's is actually is to campus.
It's super close.
We were like 2 blocks away from our dorms.
We were like, we
were so close.
And Brandon probably knows this. Like every year, there are hikers who die like 100 yards from the trail because they get lost and they get all discombobulated and they starve to death even though they're super close to a trail. It's the same thing. We were 2 blocks from campus and we're like, we'll get there. I guess. Also, this dates us, but it's like cell phones weren't that reliable either. So it wasn't like I remember probably at that time, Anish, I didn't even have texting on my phone.
Yeah, we had limited text. I think I had like 50 messages for the month or something like that.
Yeah, I remember I just started
couldn't waste them on something like that.
Hey, shocker! A girl I started getting close with a girl, and she was texting, and I was like, "Yeah, I have text," even though I didn't. And then like a month later, my mom was like, "Are you texting? The bill is gigantic." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I meant to tell you. Please add texting."
That's funny. That's hilarious. Yeah. So that was my specific college story that I had in mind where we're thinking about like, our kid's going to be worse than
I mean, Anish, you just told a bunch of friends hanging out, no alcohol, no illegal substances, anything. One guy was like, "Yeah, I'll get shot by a BB gun," and then we just went walking down a road, and then we ended up going out to eat. You know what I mean? Like they're going to do worse things than that.
Yeah,
I can guarantee you. Yeah. They're gonna do worse things.
They might do worse things than that in high school.
Yeah.
These days, from what Brandon's told me about the show Euphoria, I'm very worried about high school.
Hey, Euphoria is an excellent show. It's crazy, extreme, but yeah. All right, who wants to go next with the college stories? Brandon,
I can
Eric?
go.
All right, Eric, go for it.
So this is fast forward 4 years, and we have this cool house right on the corner of the campus, and this was it was me and Brandon. Anish, you weren't up there yet, and we had what was it? It was just me and Brandon chilling in the house, and we had Everclear vodka, and so we were like, we were going to go down to Spanky's that later on that evening or whatever, but we were just chilling. Yeah, we were just chilling at the house, so we did like probably 2 shots of like Everclear, maybe could have been 3, but we were just like, it was a Saturday night, nothing to do, nothing going on. And I remember one of Brandon's, Ryan, if you're out there, shout out to you, the boy, Ryan, he needed to borrow, I think, some kind of engineering book or notes or something from Brandon. Yeah. And he walks in our kitchen and he goes, "Whoa, dude, are you guys like cleaning the floors?" Because Everclear stinks so bad of alcohol, pure alcohol.
Such a college drink too.
Yeah. We're like, we'll just do Everclear, which is like the cheapest, nastiest vodka. But so we just did that, and then that was also the summer after Michael Phelps won. Like he set the record, or it was like 2008-ish, I think, summer of 2008-ish, and he had dominated in the pool. And so I just remember being on like the kitchen table and like up the stairs on my belly swimming like I was Michael Phelps. But that was a combo of patriotism and Everclear.
Yeah. More so Everclear.
And I mean, Michael Phelps inspired a generation.
But that same week, I vividly remember that weekend too, because we literally didn't do anything. I can't remember. I feel like it was during the school year though.
No, I think it was. I think I had gone home for the weekend or something like
I
that.
think, like,
I thought
yeah.
was
we
it
had-
not the summer?
No,
No.
I think it was literally like in the middle of the year. And for context, our house, we had 5 people in the house that lived there.
It was a sick house. It was a real house, like a
it was
real
amazing.
house that was like probably 40 years old.
Yeah, I can't believe the guy like rented
And
it
it
out
was
to
cheap.
college kids.
Super cheap for how nice it was.
The 5 of us, and everyone else had went home but you and I, and we just. I mean, it's just like we were talking about earlier. Like, you have nothing to do, so we hung out,
and we were both over the age of 21. Like it was all legit.
That was the
I
same
have other
weekend
stories that we could share.
That was the same weekend we. This is again dating us. We went to like, I don't know, was it Blockbuster? I guess it was Blockbuster. Was it Blockbuster?
Yeah,
was Blockbuster
yeah, it was still there.
around?
I think it
Mhm.
was still there in 09.
We
Yeah.
rented
Yeah.
Resident Evil
Oh yes,
on the Xbox, and we just played Resident Evil.
the
for
original Xbox.
Yeah, the OG Xbox. We played Resident Evil all weekend and just tried to beat that game. We literally, I remember we had that couch that I bought from that love seat
The
I bought
Goodwill
from
couch.
Goodwill.
The love seat. Me and you in a love seat,
Me,
sitting
you, and a love seat.
2
like,
feet from a 60-inch TV.
Literally drug the love seat up right in front of the TV like a little kid, and we sat there and played Resident Evil all weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you have nothing else to do. It's like, yeah, we'll do this.
Dude, how many weekends have we had like that? Like we had that in the dorms with 2 different games. Godfather, where we were like
yes,
all
Adam.
weekend.
Adam once again.
Yeah.
Adam. He was like, "Anybody else want to play right now, dude?" And for
Yeah.
2 days, we just watched Adam beat the Godfather video game.
Yeah, and then we did it for Mortal Kombat, one of the Mortal Kombat games.
Yes.
Like literally all weekend, we'd stay up to like 6 a.m,
Yep.
And-
go to sleep, wake up at like 3 p.m, maybe get some food at the calf or whatever, and then right back to video games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah. Go ahead, Brandon.
No, I was gonna keep expounding. I was just like, you have infinite amounts of time, and it's you can do whatever. You're always down for whatever. Like,
Mhm.
or if you're cool, you are. Like literally, that's saying we're trying to beat Resident Evil. We're in the grind,
Yeah.
and we got some texts from some friends to
At, like,
another.
10
Like, hey, you want to
PM.
go? Yeah, you want to go out? We're gonna go hike at this place, and we didn't know where we were going. And it
Yes.
turned out it was actually kind of a dangerous place to go.
Yes.
The
in
window,
the middle of the
window
night.
cliffs,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah, we're going to the window cliffs,
Dude,
and if it's
so-
got the cliff in the name, you shouldn't go at
So-
1 a.m.
Anish, I wish you were there because I it's literally one of those things where that's one of those moments in life where I legit was like, oh, this is my limit. Like this is where as far as I'm willing, like physically to go, mentally and physically to go somewhere. And like when Brandon says it was cliffs, they didn't tell us it was like terrifying, legit.
We didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah,
High
dude,
cliffs.
yeah,
and you
we
could
went there
fall
in
to
the
your
day.
death.
We went
Yes.
there in the day. Like me, I think it was you, me,
You-
Adam, Noel.
Adam,
Yeah,
not
so
at all.
Eric didn't come.
I had
I
fun.
said no.
Aaron did
Yeah, I
not have
said-
fun.
No,
Yeah.
I legit had a moment where there were people that we were trying to be around, and as we were up on the top, everybody kept scooting, and I kept getting further toward the back because my body was like, you're not gonna, you shouldn't do this. And so we were on literally the top, and I got to a point where I was like, I'm not going any further. like Brandon, you remember that? Everybody,
I wasn't even going to
boys
bring
and
that up
girls.
because it was
boys
like,
and girls were going on, and I legitimately the heights and everything. I was like, I'm not comfortable taking.
yeah, I wasn't even
another
going to bring that
step.
up, but yeah, you did not.
Yeah.
You like kind of shut down there for a minute. Like,
Yeah, I was like, I
was like,
can't
Eric,
do this.
lock it in.
But my question is,
and I was like, I'm turning around and going to the car.
my question is, obviously, you guys went in like pitch black night.
In the night.
I know you can sense that obviously you're high up,
I
But-
did not sense that.
but not being able to
was-
see it. Like was it
Anish,
still,
I was very aware that we were on the
Dude,
top of a
'cause
cliff.
during the daytime. It's terrifying, Eric.
It was scary.
It is
When I-
scary.
I remember I loved it, and I was like, "This is awesome. We all need to go back." Eric didn't want to go, so we
I was like,
we
no,
went
I'm
back.
not going back.
And yeah, I remember like telling y'all like, I cannot believe I was up here at like 1 a.m. and I was like, this is dangerous. Like,
No,
what was I doing?
Legitimately, it was
Yeah.
1 a.m. and I remember being like, with either I don't think we had flashlights, Brandon. I think the moon
I think
was clear.
I think like a couple of us had some
Yes, a
headlamps
couple
or
people had
something,
flashlights.
but
But-
nothing.
Yeah,
Like it was
because I do have a heights thing, but
Very
literally
unprepared.
even at that time, it was like, this is not what I signed up for.
it was very, we were very unprepared.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, one slip, you're donezo. Like,
I saw that when it was daytime.
yeah,
Dude, no,
There was, like,
my
creek
heights radar
crossings.
was going off, dude.
There was like creek crossings to do too.
Yeah.
Like I
Yep.
don't know what we're, but again, you just you're in college, you're dumb, you don't care, like nothing's gonna
we
ever
went
bad
cave
happen to you.
spelunking. Remember the cave spelunking?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was out on that
dude.
one. That was one thing I was out on. I'm like, nope.
Dude, was it the first time we scoped it out? No, Anish, you were there, right? But you
Anish
didn't
was
go into
there.
the cave, right?
We
You
went
didn't go
down
into
I
the
was
cave.
there.
But,
Yeah.
okay, because you were it's literally a sinkhole.
I was gonna say it's more of a
Caves in it.
sinkhole than a
Yes.
than a
And
cave.
so we were climbing past so me and Adam and Brandon made our way down to the cave entrance, one of the bigger cave entrance, and Anish goes, "Oh my god, don't move!" And legitimately, like right here, there was an owl,
Like a big one.
big-ass,
Yeah, he like
a real-
swooped down at us.
a real owl. And Anish goes, "Look out for that owl!" We're like, "What?" And there was an owl just staring at us, probably being like,
Yeah.
"Why are you in my house?"
Yeah.
Dude, I've to this day, that's the only time I've ever seen an owl out in the wild. To this day, dude.
Like flying in between our faces,
Dude,
and,
yeah.
and
And
those things are quiet. You hear that they're quiet. I think
Yep.
we did not hear it at all,
No
and it
clue.
was
And it landed
literally on
near
our
us.
shoulder.
Dude,
Yeah.
I didn't hear it either. I just happened to be looking in that direction and I saw it.
You probably got the eye glint.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember the owl and Anish smartly being at the top. I remember crawling through the cave, but there were cave spiders
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like everywhere.
Nope.
everywhere.
Immediately out.
And I think it was Adam or Brandon. One of you was in the front.
I was up front, and I was like,
yeah, and you were
guys,
trying to kill the spiders and stuff. But we literally got to a point where we just got to crawl.
yeah,
You got to go. And then I remember
Yeah,
driving home
no.
in our underwear.
yeah, because we got disgusting.
Yes,
and we did not have a change of clothes. We didn't have towels.
because you were down for whatever. We were like, we didn't bring anything.
Yeah, it was like, hey, I heard about this sinkhole. We should.
Yes.
We had not scouted up for it. It's like, hey, I heard about this sinkhole. Y'all want to go crawl in it? Sure.
I think it's the night I think I almost ran a stop sign. I think it was like Eric.
Eric, that seemed like every time you drove, you almost ran a stop sign.
Dude, Anish, fucker came out of nowhere.
That's a good one. All right, Brandon, you got any you got a college story you want to share?
Yeah, I got one. I thought of this when you were talking about, maybe think of Zoya being a nerd. I was kind of a nerd in college.
Zoya the nerd.
So, I relate to her, and I spent a lot of time at the library, and especially at the finals time, like I was just living at the library.
You were hardcore.
Yeah, you disappeared.
Yep.
I love to study so much,
You were tense during that time.
but so I'd go disappear at the library. But this finals, I guess like most of us had disappeared. I think Eric was actually at the library as well.
Rare sighting.
Yeah,
Here's a
Eric.
rare sighting of
Hey, it
Eric
took us
at
till
the
about
library.
into junior year, but Eric found the library.
I was like, holy shit, you guys have been here studying this whole time?
It's like that workaholics. What about these books? Like, but so I'd forgotten my dinner. I usually would like pack I'm camping out at the library, so I'd usually pack my food. I forgot my food, so I walked back. Our corner house was so perfect. It was right beside the football stadium, right beside
Literally
the campus.
right across the
Didn't have to
street.
drive to campus.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was the best setup. But so home's not far away. I walk back home. Everyone else is gone. Anish is still at the house.
I was in the
Not
computer
caring
lab.
about-
That's what it was. I know
Yeah.
where you're going. I was in the business hall community lab. That's what it was.
Anish is at home, not studying, not caring.
I was by myself, and Ish said, "No, I do not
Anish-
want to go to the computer lab."
Anish was vibing at home. I go to get I think it was a Mondo sub is what I was coming back
Mondo's.
to get.
Mondo.
I think you were eating a Mondo sub as well, because I
Probably.
vividly remember this story.
a
but,
veggie Mondo sub.
My plan was to get the sub and go back, and you were like, come on, man, like just eat dinner with me, like don't leave me, like I'm here alone. And you were about to start watching this movie, and this is how much of a nerd I was so involved with like my education that I didn't even know what Tropic Thunder was. And you had rented it, I guess, or maybe
That's
bought it, I don't know.
hilarious.
Yeah.
I didn't even know
I
what it
don't know.
was. And you were like, I'm going to watch this movie, Tropic Thunder. You need to watch it with me. And I was like, what is it? I was like, I don't even know what this is about. I was like, I don't want to watch a war movie right now. I was like, I want to go study. That's literally what I thought it was. I thought it was like a real.
of a making of a war movie.
And we sit down, and I'm like, he finally like bends me enough that I say, fine, like I'll eat my sub, but as soon as I'm done eating, I'm going back to the library.
So you had no clue what Tropic Thunder was?
I had no clue. And yeah, I had no clue what it was. And he starts playing it, and I literally remember looking at you on the couch and being like, is this like a a serious movie, and right as I said that was when the Al Pacino, like the booty sweat commercial. Yeah,
Al Pacino.
Yes, and I was like, oh, this answers that, and so we started watching it. It was, it was Tropic Thunder. It's freaking awesome. But as we're eating, we get a knock at the door, and it's more of like a banging on the door.
And
like,
no one. I mean,
yeah,
people came over. Yeah,
people came over a lot. I mean, we literally had like the house, like, because we were right at campus.
But to give context, nobody knocked on the front door. They would always come through the side door.
Yeah, you come through the side.
Kitchen.
Yeah. So it was very odd. We weren't expecting anybody coming over, and again, it's like in the middle of the week.
It's just
so
you two.
It's just us. And so we go to the front. I go to the front door, and I literally still have my sub in my hand, and like it's like wrapped in napkins. And I open the door, and there's a guy split open on his head, and he's bleeding everywhere. There's another guy freaking out, going, "We need to call the cops. This guy's been jumped. They beat him with a baseball bat. He's bleeding everywhere." He's like, "My phone's." The guy's like phone lost service as he was trying to call 911. I don't know, but and they just pulled into our house. And he's like, I literally like had these little mondos. I was like, "You want a napkin, like, or something? Like, I don't know what you want me to do." And so I let him come into the house. I let him come in.
Was a-hole Brandon kicking in there for a second?
No, Brandon was like get charity Brandon at that point.
Oh, okay, okay.
I come over. I'm like, Brandon, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
Oh, dude, I was just letting strangers in the house. We had some stranger like bleeding in our bathroom. Like he's just
Walt's
pouring
bathroom?
blood in the sink. Yeah, it was Walter's bathroom. Shout out Walt.
Walter.
So yeah, it turned out the guy. For those that don't know Cookeville, there was a notorious gas station nicknamed the Murder Mart.
Murder Mart.
Yeah,
Don't go to the Murder Mart.
Like 3 blocks from where we lived.
Yeah, not too far from where we lived.
We were on the good side of campus.
Yeah. But so I guess this guy had gotten jumped near the Murder Mart, and the person who dropped him off at our house was literally sitting at a red light, and the guy jumped in his car. They drive down, and the guy's his phone's not working for whatever reason. He's trying to call, and he literally just pulled in the first driveway he saw, our driveway. So an ambulance gets called, the cops get called. It turns into like this whole ordeal of there's literally like ambulances in our front yard, like because we're at the corner of campus.
You can see this from campus. Like anybody who's on campus could look over and see.
Police cars are lined down the driveway. There's literally the ambulance is in our yard, and people are texting and calling like, "What's going on at y'all's house? Is everyone okay?" At this point, Anish and I are in the front yard talking to the cops, and
still just us two.
At this point, going back to the library is it's out of the question. Studying is done.
You're suspect number 4.
I'm involved now. I'm way too involved. And if we're talking to the cops, and this is another like vivid like memory I have is Walter driving. He's coming up. I guess he had also a big study guy. Also a big nerd, but he had been at the library. He's driving.
He's a dentist now. He's a justified nerd.
Very successful. Yeah. Studying paid off for him. I was in the yard talking to cops.
I mean,
but so Walter he's driving down, and instead of pulling into our driveway, I see him like slow down to like 2 miles an hour, and he's
known for at least 3 years.
He's holding the steering wheel and just like looking at us, and like the look of his face is like, "What is going on?" And he just keeps driving, doesn't even stop.
Me and Brandon make eye contact with him, like we
look at him like, "Help us, Walter! You are probably the most responsible one in this house."
Yes.
And he just kept driving, and then later on, we're like, "Dude, what the heck? Why did you leave?" And he literally goes, "I didn't know what y'all had done, but I was not going to be a part of it."
He did verbatim. He was like, "These guys have done something, and I don't want to be tied to it."
Yeah, but that guy eventually got out of there, and everybody came home, and we got the blood cleaned up. But it was a pretty exciting night. When if I just would have went back to the freaking library, this would have been Anish's problem.
Dude, Anish by yourself.
Honestly,
yeah. You probably wouldn't answer the door.
Yeah, if it was just me, I would. If somebody knocked on the front door and nobody ever came to the front door, I would not have. Yeah, I would not have opened the door. I just would have ran into my room real quick.
No, Anish, I can see you leaning on the couch, looking through like the curtain.
Yeah, the curtains,
the side curtains there.
Nope.
Yeah. Oh, that's blood.
Yeah, nope. I'm out. Find the house where they can't see in.
Yeah, it's not a happy moment, but that's a very vivid memory of college I have.
Another funny thing is, I feel like Anish and I were attached at the hip through a lot of the college years. And
like literally all our college years.
like from freshman year to when we graduated.
Minus the one semester where Brandon came in the picture.
Yes,
Yeah,
and then,
we lost Eric.
without me being love struck, Brandon would not be a part of this podcast.
Exactly.
But that's like the one of like 3 times that year I went to the computer lab to actually study. But it was the night that a guy shows up, busted up, beaten up, bleeding everywhere.
Yeah.
But Brandon, that also reminds me of. So I used to have night terrors when I was younger, like legitimately screaming, blood curdling, sweating. In college.
At that house.
The same. So I was in the upper room. Brandon and Anish were on the next landing, and then you went down another landing, and there was Walter's room, which was like the main floor, and then down lower we had a 5th roommate that lived down in like the basement, like a finished basement that flooded all the time. But one night I had a night terror, and I was screaming, and I woke up on like Brandon and Anish's landing, like in between their rooms, and I remember I think both of you guys came out, and it was like, oh my god, what are you doing? And it was a dream. I go back up to my room. The next morning, Walter was like, I thought someone murdered Eric, and I just stayed in my bed because I was like, he's dead. Someone's killed him.
Yeah.
And Walter went back to sleep. Didn't even check if I was dead or not.
And that's why Walter's not on this podcast, Eric. Dude, it's funny.
They were scary, man. You would be like screaming.
They were real night terror.
Try living in a 4x4 dorm room with that.
A prison cell.
Cell. Dude, one time we had watched the movie The Covenant, and there's a scene in The Covenant. We're like this. They do the spell, and like there's like spiders crawling all over this body. And we go back home. Eric passes out. We're both asleep, and Eric all of a sudden has a night terror. He stands up on his bed, clears the room, jumps into my bed.
Honestly, it had to look like a gazelle.
Yeah. It was a good like 6-7 feet.
Yes,
at least.
Yes.
Jumps in my bed. I'm like, what the hell, dude? He's like, I thought there were spiders crawling over me. I was like, go to sleep, man.
And this was like, get the hell out of my bed. Go back to sleep. Yeah. The funny thing is, I can vividly picture if there being like spiders all over me. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Like, it's like, no, there's one time I thought I saw there were scorpions, like black, shiny scorpions were like crawling in my bed. And then you're like, oh, no.
He's gonna talk himself into a night terror tonight.
He's having a night terror tonight.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Sorry, family.
To give the listeners some context, this happened so much, it got to a point where I would end up sleeping through Eric's night terrors.
I would lock my door. I got to the point where I locked my door.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, especially after that one night where you woke up because the bathroom.
I mean, legit.
That landing, it was my room, Anish's room, and a bathroom in between us. And you were in the bathroom just screaming. And I was like, oh, click. I'm going to take a page out of Walter's book.
Walter had it right.
Yeah.
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 Dude, I wish there was camera footage, like paranormal activity style, of me going down the stairs. Because I have to. Yeah, I think I probably 2-hopped it.
It'd probably be like Step Brothers when they're like putting stuff in the oven and stuff.
I'll kiss you on the mouth, Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. Listen, I think that's enough college story talk for now.
I didn't mean to bring up the night terror. I honestly forgot about the night terror stuff.
That was good. I'm sure. Back. Yeah. We have so many other stories that we can always revisit this topic in future pods. So let's keep it moving. We're already at 15-minute, boys. I know last episode I said this might be a shorter episode, but we're...
I know, both these are normal episodes.
There's a normal episode. I apologize. I should never provide a context.
We're sleepy dads. Yeah, let us sleep, Anish. Please, producer. I'm
gonna pull the curtains back a little bit. We're recording this back to back. So literally with last week's episode recorded, we're literally recording this like a few minutes after that. So we're definitely
we're humming.
Yeah, we're humming. So let's go ahead and move on. Close the episode out strong with another draft. We're going to do a draft of the best. You know, it's that time of the year. Leaves are changing. Weather's getting a little crisp and cool. It's the perfect time of year. The start of the best time of the year, in my personal opinion.
No more sweating, Anish? Yeah,
no more sweating. The fall time is here. So we're going to do a draft of the best fall activities to do. These can be family friendly. These could be just your personal preference. It could be whatever you would like. We'll do 3 rounds or 4. What do you guys think? How you guys feeling? 3?
Just
3's fine. Yeah, 3's
knock it out.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna do Eric's gonna
Sleepy.
go first. Yeah. Eric's gonna go first, then Brandon, then me. So go ahead, Eric. Lead it off with your
So
first pick.
I'm stuck on what I want to do here because they're different, but they're kind of similar. But what I'm going to go with
Same.
Yeah.
same.
but different.
It's different, but
same.
no, I think I might now. I want to watch that interview. We're talking about the interview.
Yeah.
I want to go. I have two. Can I go two back to back, or is that allowed?
No. You get one, and then you gotta wait till your turn.
Hey, if you're the last
So-
pick, you
Okay.
can be back to back.
Okay.
You want to trade?
So-
You want to go back? You wanna go last pick?
No.
Okay.
I finally got the first pick. You never give me the first pick, so I'm taking it. I'm taking
Hey,
it.
Mr. Goku, you had the first pick one time.
Dude, you're gonna
You turn on
lying.
the fall episode of Dragon Ball Z.
You boys are lying if you don't think Goku's a fantastic father. Anyway, okay, you're sidetracking me. You're filibustering me right now. I'm gonna go with fall activity with the fam. We haven't done it in a while, but one of the fun things to do is go to the Blue Ridge Mountains. It's in between Tennessee and Georgia. Beautiful mountains. Get a cabin, shack up with family and friends. Brandon's been there with us. The AC went out, and it was classic Tennessee fall where it's like 80 degrees. In the
I was
cabin.
dying. My room felt the most. I
Brandon
was
got
at
the
top
best room of the house, the best room, but it was the hottest room, so it turned into the worst room. So
It took a turn.
we're like grilling in the heat. Like, this sucks. We're drinking Bullet bourbon, playing pool until like 3 a.m. downstairs because it's the only cool room in the house. And okay, you're sidetracking me. Getting a nice
You
fall
sidetrack
cabin.
yourself.
Yes, you played yourself. A nice fall cabin, going apple picking, eating the cider, drinking the ciders, eating the apple cider donuts, hanging out with friends and family, cooking out, chilling at a place. Fantastic. Having a fire, chilling. My cousin Nathan would go and we'd just sit in front of a fire until 4 a.m., chit chatting, talking about life, having a fantastic time. So, yeah, going to a cabin in the fall.
Yeah, cabin a fall cabin trip. I like that.
Yeah.
That's
I was
a
gonna
good
say
one.
you're throwing like three.
threw a
You're
lot
doing
in
like three.
Simpler.
You're taking all the.
Yeah. Those are all going to be off the board now by the next time we get to Eric.
Yeah, you literally
I
said
just goes-
everything. Anything you could do in the fall.
Yeah.
You literally
It just
said
goes,
it.
vacation. You just said vacation. Okay, my bad. My bad.
All right,
Go to a
Brandon.
cabin. You start doing this.
Yeah.
Dude, get a nice rosé.
Oh gosh, hold on. Let me look at my notes since Eric said like 17. Then
Sorry. I like those weekends. Those are fun 3-day weekends.
okay. That's your 3 picks, then. One day, one for each day. He said he was going to take multiple ones. But
Yeah.
You wanted to.
I'm
yeah.
torn. I have another one that I could probably ramble for a good bit
Okay.
about.
well, I think I'm. Is it my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn.
Okay. Do I get to take 3?
No,
No.
you only get one.
Well, this one there's multiple activities involved with it, so you know.
Smart.
It's a. I don't think we went last year, but going to a pumpkin patch, man.
Mhm.
So go in there and God, they're crazy. This is like old dad talking, but man, they're so expensive. Like,
I
prices
have
are
another
wild.
angle. I have a Zag.
oh, okay. So of course,
No,
it
they're
does.
expensive, but carrying the pumpkins around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you get one of the little wagons.
That's what I'm saying. But I've been at some where it's a long walk to like the
Yeah.
wagon or an unavailable wagon. And
Or
you're
you ride
carrying-
the hay ride all the way out there. Anyway, you're
Sidetrack.
Dude, this is me
Sidetrack.
with pumpkins. This is me walking with nice pumpkins.
You do have some nice pumpkins, Eric.
Thank you, Anish.
But most of them are all the same. But they're usually at a farm, and there's you do the hay ride out to the pumpkin patch. Everybody gets out, goes picks their pumpkins. You hop back in, ride back, and there's all kind of stuff you could do at the farm. There's usually some animals to go see. There's usually different little
corn
rides and
pits.
stuff. The corn pit, and then your kids you come home and they go to the bathroom, and there's like 17 corn kernels in the bathroom floor because they're
I mean,
shoved down in their underwear.
Brandon, you know what they say about corn? You never really own it. No, you never heard that expression?
We no sold the hell out of that joke.
Just saying. It passes through you. Your body can't break down corn, so it passes through.
Oh my god!
Sorry.
I'm too tired for this.
All right. So
Pumpkin patch, yeah, go.
match. Okay. So
Let's do 2 rounds.
yeah, I was so I was hoping that would get to me, but I knew it probably wasn't. But I was gonna do kind of a duo pick with my 2 picks, but I'll still take the second one of that. I'm gonna go with carving pumpkins. So
I had that listed as separate, so that allowed.
So the closer you get to Halloween time, you go to the pumpkin patch, you pick out a nice big pumpkin, get a good one for a good carving surface. Go home, pick out a good design of what you want to do for that year, and just go at it, man. Go to town, get the carving tools, scoop out the pumpkin. We like to take the pumpkin seeds and roast them. And have them as a snack later on. Yep,
pumpkin seeds.
Yep. So that's always a plus. And get the pumpkin carving going. So do that right before Halloween. It's always a fun time. So that's going to be my first pick. Yeah,
right on, Anish.
And then my second pick. I'm going to go with. I think I'm going to say this is separate, but I'm going to go with doing a corn maze. Do you guys? Is that okay? Can I take that? I know it kind of lumps in.
Go
with,
for it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the corn maze, man.
Hey, you know what to say about corn, Anish?
Please do tell, Eric.
Never really own it.
Oh man, that's gonna be the title of this episode. You know what they say about corn? Oh yeah, but corn mazes, they're always fun. All the ones, they give you a little map when you first go in. A map that's most of the time
bullshit.
They're not. Yeah, they're bullshit, dude. They're
like, what angle are we?
Yeah, and like one time I went to one and like it looks like the printer was running out of ink, so everything was like faded, and like you couldn't see like half the checkpoints. You're like, we're just gonna wing it here.
Nice.
But yeah, they're always fun. They always take up a good amount of time. If
good
you go
designs.
to like a decent, good designs. Yep. And if you go to a decent one, you can kill like a good hour, walking around. So, yeah, corn mazes always fun to do. Can only do them in the fall time.
I have a horror story for a corn maze. And Brandon, your wife and family were involved in this.
I was saying, I was not at this one.
You were not at this. We went to it's called the Nash Creamery. It's out in Chapel Hill area of Tennessee. We went down there. They have a corn maze, and it was right at dusk. We were like, yeah, it's free. Let's go through the corn maze. Dude, there's a thing called like corn spiders. You know what they say about corn spiders? No, but there's a thing called corn spiders. And they were beginning to set their webs from across the walkways. No. And so it started with one girl, so we were with my daughters, and Brandon's daughters were there. And it started with like Ophelia walking through a spider web, and then another, like Savannah started screaming, and then Hadley would start screaming, and it ended with me with a corn stalk walking through the walkways, knocking down spider webs. Dude, these are big spiders that were literally making them across, like, three people could walk side by side through this corn maze.
Was Lily at that one? I don't know if
Lily was there. Yep.
So I just said it randomly because I think about that a lot. I was not at that one. I think I was at a race or something.
You were at a race because Courtney was going, damn, Brandon.
Well, I think about that like more often than I should because we have like we have like an Alexa in the kitchen, and it'll play like I don't know how it's got it. I guess it's got like a folder from Courtney's pictures or something. But there's a picture of Hadley, Ophelia, and Savannah in that corn maze. There's like a picture then that pops up on that a lot, and I see it like in the kitchen a lot, and I always think about that. And her telling me about how awful it was.
The fear, yeah. And let's just say it kind of ruined corn mazes for us, Anish, because I like a corn maze, but man, when you have to go through 30 spiders, not that fun.
Yeah, maybe don't do them at nighttime.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice. Don't do corn mazes. Don't do window cliffs
yes.
at night.
All right, Brandon. Second pick of the draft.
I'm going to do this as more of a personal one that we've done like the last couple falls because I got like one of those outdoor projectors, or well, I guess it doesn't have to be outdoors, but I got a movie projector, but I got it with the intention of doing it outside. So Tennessee, man, it's freaking, the summer's awful. Like usually the first part of fall is usually pretty hot, but once it starts finally getting a little cool, you can go outside, have a bonfire, and put the projector up and watch a movie. Maybe it's a Halloween movie or whatever. We usually do like a Halloween party in the neighborhood, and I'll put it on the front of the garage, and we'll have like Hocus Pocus or something, But when I see that projector in the closet, I think of fall because that's about the only time you can do it.
Yeah, nice.
That's awesome. When you kind of thread that weather needle,
that's the only time you can use it. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's either too hot and then all of a sudden it gets too cold, and So,
That's
but
a good one, Brandon.
yeah,
That's a good one. Outdoor movies are always clutch. But
yes.
Eric, last two picks of the draft here.
Oh shit! I only have one more. But my second one, I'm going with Gatlinburg in the fall, which is for me primarily it was like middle school through maybe my first year of college, second year of college, where my family and I would go to Gatlinburg, and it's just especially Gatlinburg now is kind of a mess of what it is. But back in the day, it was very fun. Fudge, old timey photos. The Ripley's Aquarium was there. Ripley's Museum was there. It's in the fall. You could wear a cool North Face jacket, like you were like somebody, you know.
yeah,
And, Gatlinburg in the fall, beautiful time.
We did a fall break trip together. Our senior
the
year.
three of us, yeah.
The three of us, and
the
Katie
boys.
and Courtney. Yeah.
Anish, I still have the Batman knife that we bought from that weekend.
Nice.
Oh God, I forgot about that.
The double blades that come up.
Yeah.
I think it was cool.
Yeah.
All right, Eric. Last pick of the draft.
Oh shit. I didn't
You said
study.
like 4 when you were talking
No,
about.
I think I wasted them all in the cabin weekend.
Listen.
Split
you
one
can-
out.
Yeah, you can split one out. We'll allow you to split one out.
No. Well, I was gonna say I have critiques. The pumpkin patch is fun. Some of the ones that you can go to can be kind of hillbilly on like the pumpkin patch. So I've been to nice ones. I've been to like really bougie ones that are like not that fun when it's more photo ops than it is actual like the spirit of like pumpkins and stuff. But fall. I mean, can I count Halloween?
Yeah.
In fall.
That's part of fall, man.
So I'm going to take, I mean, that seems like way
part
late
of
to
it.
be taking Halloween, but just, especially now that the girls are really into picking out their costumes and stuff. But it's, especially here, it's either warm on Halloween night or it might be rainy and maybe a little chilly on Halloween. But just picking out a costume, hitting our neighborhood. Right now I'm enjoying the bliss of having like a wagon that I can drag the girls in when they get tired with blankets and snacks. So it's a very fun time.
That's funny you say that, Eric, because the last 3 Halloweens here it snowed.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Really?
So
Our
like
last one
bundled
was
up.
cold.
Yeah, like we're like bundled up. There's like snowing sideways, like hitting us in the face.
So Nish, my childhood photos in North Dakota is me in a full winter snowsuit with a pirate hat on top of my head for Halloween.
Yeah, it's fun.
And we still went trick-or-treating in the snow.
Yeah, you still got to do it, man.
Yep.
You only got a window.
That candy's not going to catch itself.
Exactly. All right, Brandon, last pick.
Let's see. I had 2 left on the board that I like. I'm going to do a more personal one. And it was more of when I was a kid, and then also in my old house. My old house had a lot more trees. My house growing up, we had a ton of trees, but fall's coming. Those leaves are falling down. So being the dad, you're having to rake it all up. And I remember Dad like pulling together, like we had so many trees and just pulling up piles of leaves. And what did me and my brother do? You go jump in those piles of leaves and just you're just causing chaos. Dogs are running around, they're jumping in. And then even like I said, in my old house had a lot more trees, and so that was me having to do piles of leaves, and then the girls are jumping in the leaves and messing them up and just throwing those. And,
in your yard, Brandon, your backyard?
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
yeah,
like
so many. Fun. Oh, dude, I had so many leaves. I miss it, and I don't miss it. You know, I don't miss having to. I don't miss the labor involved with it, but it was fun. But
the crunch when you're walking through the yard and you're shuffling through the leaves. Yep.
So yeah, big pile of leaves.
Nice.
Shout out leaves.
Is that your third pick?
Yeah,
big
leaves.
ass pile of leaves.
Yeah.
That's that East Ridge coming out in Brandon.
Shout out leaves.
Yeah. All right. So mine is going to be, I guess, kind of an activity, but we'll see where it goes. I have an idea in my head. I don't know how I'm going to articulate it, so we'll see where it goes.
Hey,
kind of like Brandon's leaves things. Yeah.
You know what they say about leaves?
Yeah.
It's not the going, it's the leaving. That's the problem.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with when the time changes and you go back an hour, that morning time, the morning of that day,
it feels like of the year.
It feels like you have like an infinite amount of time to do whatever the hell you want that day.
Good one.
Yeah. So like you wake up, you say you're thinking it's like 8:00, but it's like 7, and you're like, oh, this is awesome. So you wake up, maybe you go out, you get yourself a pumpkin spice latte. Yeah,
nice.
You go get yourself a pumpkin spice latte. Go apple picking. Eat some apple cider donuts.
It's only 2 p.m., But
And it's
Anish,
only 2
wait,
p.m. Yeah.
it's only 2 p.m.
Yeah.
You still have
Yeah.
time.
You've already done like 20 things. It's only 2 p.m. Guess what? Now you have time to go home to catch the late afternoon games of football.
Uh-huh.
You're watching the games. Your first half goes. You're enjoying. You're having a good old time.
It's
You're
just-
checking your fantasy.
It's only 5:30.
Yeah, it's only 5:30. And then you got the night football game.
Yeah, the night game kicks in.
Yeah. And it's
You've
only
already eaten
8:30.
dinner?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only 8:30. What are we going to do?
Yeah,
Maybe you do a podcast afterwards.
Yeah.
exactly. So that's got to be. I don't know what kind of activity you want to classify that as. Like I said, I had an idea in my head and I articulated
Time change.
it.
Yeah, I don't-
time change. All right.
I was gonna say, I know I'm tired. I'm trying to think of what it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's good.
Time change.
All right. Yeah, so that's gonna be my last pick.
Good one.
So,
That's a good
That's
one.
a good one.
That's a good one, dude. That's like the best day.
It's not really an activity, but it's a good one, dude.
That's true.
It's just something that happens, but okay.
Well, you know what they say about time changes.
Don't get used to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, another draft in the books. Another good one.
Well,
Yeah,
great episode,
good
boys.
picks. Good picks.
Yeah. Great.
We got a
picks.
critique from a friend. Shout out Drew, not Mill Creek Drew.
A different Drew.
Yeah, a
Drew
different
McCart.
The boy.
The boy Drew. He was like, man, when y'all do these drafts, he's like, it'd be great if there's a little like an image that popped up that showed like a recap of them. And I was like, yeah, we don't have those funds for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our producer's
listen.
pretty stringent on the budget.
Yeah, there is no budget.
Wait, you guys are getting paid?
Yeah. Hey, listen, we're very close to being qualified for podcast listener support on Spotify. So once we do, we'll definitely open that up for anybody who wants to support us. You're more than welcome
Yeah, don't do that, guys. Just enjoy the pod.
to. Yeah. Just enjoy. Listen, if Drew wants to, take a shot at designing some stuff for us, by all means, go for it. If there's any listeners
We
out
take
there
handouts.
if there's any listeners out there that can do some graphic design work and just pull up all of our draft picks up on a draft board looking thing.
And if
So
you're looking
literally-
for volunteers, possibly you.
I literally was just
Possibly.
thinking, hey, there's some good picks. And I was like, wait, what were the picks again?
Okay, so,
Yeah.
let's
Hey.
do that. We haven't done that. So I write them down. Anish, do you write them down?
Yeah, I write them down too.
Okay.
I
So
don't.
my first pick was Cabin. Second pick was Gatlinburg. Third
Mhm.
pick was Halloween.
No, do them in
Yep.
order. Read out what they were.
Okay.
So first
What do you
round.
mean?
Draft recap.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to do it an issue? You want me to
Yeah,
do it?
I can do it.
Okay, go for
So
it.
first round, Eric went with cabin trip in the fall. Brandon went with going to the pumpkin patch,
Mm-hmm.
and I went with carving pumpkins. And then on the second round, we had the wraparound. I went with corn maze. Brandon went with I'm gonna say outside movie, like outdoor movie on a projector.
projector.
Yeah, movie projector, outdoor movie on movie projector. And then Eric went with Gatlinburg in the fall. And then third round, Eric went with Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon just went with leaves. Weird pick, but okay.
Okay.
Brandon, I don't like the way you said that.
I don't like how you said that.
Hey, and it's like, I'm just gonna leave that one there.
Hey, listen, my pick wasn't any better. I don't want time change. So
Yeah, I was gonna say you talk a lot of crap. You said we were
It
drafting
shows
family
time.
activities. We
Yeah.
said family
Time.
activities. And it's just like, well, I woke up, my clock was different.
yeah,
That was pretty cool.
Dude, this extra hour, I could do 30 other things.
It's like, I woke up, my phone was a different time.
yep. So that was the draft recap. Dude, it's so late. I'm
You know what they
talking
say about
gibberish
drafts? I don't.
now.
People decide.
Hey, honorable mention: haunted houses.
Yeah, haunted houses.
Nope. Mm-mm.
This guy.
Oh no!
Nope.
Hey, the night terror guy doesn't want to do a haunted house.
Cliffs, haunted houses. I think I've been in probably 2 haunted houses my entire life.
I think Eric just doesn't want to do anything relating to dark.
I don't like fear. I have fear of. Dude, no. Okay. We're gonna talk. I know we're wrapping up. My thing that I can't stand about haunted houses is when people get in your damn personal bubble space, and
So
it's
I'm
like
too serious.
Yes, the hardos that take it way too serious, and they're like doing the thing where they're like in your face, and you're just like, get out of my space now. This is not fun.
Yep.
Yeah, like doing a jump scare here and there. do that all you want. But yeah,
No,
when they get like
don't do
right up
that.
in your
Don't do
face
that
and they're
either.
following you for like 10 minutes,
Yes.
that's annoying.
That's why I didn't
Yes.
say. That's why I didn't draft it because it's not really. Again, I was trying to stay within the rules of.
Hey, I
Fun.
prefaced before the draft. I was like, we can do family friendly. We
said-
can do whatever
He
you
said
like.
family fall activities. So haunted house. I mean, maybe when the kids are older, it's fine. But
I mean, you can do the campy ones, like the carnival haunted
Yeah.
house type ones. Those aren't really too scary. But
No.
so I was also thinking, like, man, like I love trying to do that little Spooktober challenge or try to like watch something scary every day. But
Mhm.
that's again not a
Mhm.
family activity.
no, you don't watch the Descent,
Brandon,
Eric?
have we talked about this? Yeah. Have we talked about this? How I don't watch scary movies anymore. I read the Wikipedia plots.
Yeah, dude, that makes
And
me
I go,
so mad.
Dude,
Why
I
do
go,
you do
wow,
that?
that would have been scary to watch.
You used to watch scary movies, Eric.
Dude, I know. Anish, it got too real. I was like, I don't want this in my life. Have you seen, or it,
Have you
it
read
just
the
came
wiki?
out, the James McAvoy movie? Dang it. The one where the people are on vacation, they meet him, and they invite him back to
You know what?
I haven't seen
what?
it yet.
We're
I want
done.
to.
We're done. We're done with this episode.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
dude, hey, read that plot on Wikipedia.
Eric, I'm about to go to bed. I don't need that in my life.
It's very jacked up.
Oh man. All right, boys. Another episode in the books. Once again, we will not have an episode next week. We're taking a little break, re-energizing our batteries, enjoying
Mhm.
some time off with the families. Hopefully, we'll be back with some fun-filled
Oh my
dad
gosh.
stories. Eric, I'm
Good
looking
or
at you.
bad. Good
Yeah,
or bad.
Eric-
Fall break
Oh.
stories.
Yeah, Eric, I'm looking at you. You're
Dude.
gonna carry the episode next week.
I'm kind
Yeah.
of afraid there
Or
might
2
be
weeks.
a hurricane hitting while we're supposed to be down at the beach.
Save it for the pod.
You got
Yeah,
it?
dude.
I'll be like the Jim
Report
Cantori
back.
guy. Holy smoke!
Yeah, yeah. Be like Ali from Family Guy. What's the weather out like? What's the weather out there like?
It's wet.
Windy.
Yeah. All right, everyone. 2 weeks from now, we'll see you then.